It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are live on SABC3. This is your feel-good breakfast show. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, they do say that birds of a feather flock together. That's the saying, right? Well, this morning we take to the skies as we explore the wonderful world of our winged companions. And joining us this morning is Andrea Schnettler to introduce us to these incredible animals. We are broadening our ornithological wingspans. Andrea, how are you this morning?
Well, thanks, and yourself.
Great to have you. Thank you so much. So, birds come in all shapes, sizes, and colours, and I understand that they also have different feeding patterns. Broaden our knowledge a little bit on that. What kind of birds do you find feeding how?
Yeah, so basically birds often feed on a combination of things, but you can roughly group them together.
Yeah.
So granivores are your seed eaters, and those you'll find pecking on the floor, eating grass seeds and flower seeds, that kind of thing. Exactly. And then you have your nectar feeders or nectarivores, which are very easy to spot. They're the birds with the long, thin beaks.
Yes.
And they will often flit from flower to flower, feeding on the nectar.
Okay.
And then you have your insectivores, which often will eat fruit and nectar as well. But they are your birds that will either fly through the air, and they'll either fly through the air and catch insects, or they'll catch them on the ground.
Okay.
So there you go. There's your insectivores. And then, like we just saw, you get your birds of prey as well. So they are your active hunters that everyone knows, flying through the air and dive
Swooping
and
in,
catch
the ones that
things.
give us those dramatic nature shots
Pretty much, yeah.
on film, right? So which ones are we most likely to see in our urban areas right now, especially during this time of the year?
You actually will see a few of each. So there you can see all of them, even birds of prey. So in terms of granivores and your seed eaters, sparrows, pigeons, doves, those are all seed eaters.
Yeah.
There's your sparrow. And then nectar feeders.
Yes.
We don't get hummingbirds, which is a common one.
Yes.
Sorry, that's just an indigenous pigeon. So that's an African olive pigeon that we do find
and
here.
you mentioned indigenous pigeon because there are indigenous birds
Yes.
and there are alien invasive birds. How do these differ in terms of their feeding patterns, their moving patterns, so on?
Funnily enough, they actually don't. They all feed in the way they would in their natural environments, but probably the thing that gives them away the most is that they're just in large numbers.
Yes.
So your feral pigeons, Indian miners, and your European starlings as well. So they just in large numbers, and they outcompete our natural birds, which means that they can just populate quite quickly.
Which isn't always too amazing for our environment.
Yeah.
What kind of bird is
So
this?
that is your European starling.
That's the European starling over there. I've got to ask, as a conservationist, what is it that fuels your passion for nature and more particularly for birds?
That's a very difficult question. But it's mainly a wonder, I suppose, and a want to know everything, which is I just want to know about everything, pretty much. And then just learning your natural systems and learning the influences and how we're affecting that as well.
Well, in fact, at home, if you'd like to know more about birds and you'd like to ask Andrea about it, then give us a call on 083 91 33728. We'll be chatting to her very shortly.